Okay, so today, we'll go through this Jira. So Jira is a okay. Um, so Jira is a test management tool. Okay, so it's like Rally. Okay, just we knew about Rally, so we talk about this Jira too. So the reason of using Jira is because you want to get used to of this interface. Okay, so the things are same, like Jira, HPLM, all are same, but not same, similar. But thing is, the UI is different. Okay, the UI is different, so you want to get used to this UI. So I'll be giving you access for this. If you want, you can practice. So you can practice with it. Okay, so here they've made a lot of changes here. Like third time, see here. So this is pretty much new to me too. Because this is what I was not expecting this. This was um, pretty much new actually. So it has Confluence. I have to look out this Confluence. So okay. So now once you go here, let's say you go to this project. Go to this project. Let's see what happens. So these are two projects. One is for waterfall methodology, and the other is for agile. Okay, good. So here. I made a lot of changes actually here. So not sure where is okay, great. So I found this Confluence. So we'll see about this Confluence actually before going, because we had this SharePoint. Remember in this we used to have this SharePoint here. The fifth class we didn't discuss about this. So now we are going to do. So what is this exactly? So in our SharePoint Confluence, it's a similar terminology. SharePoint is actually, I think from IBM. It's from IBM, and it's similar to this one what we are using, but the interface is different. Okay, and here the use of this is, to upload the documents. Okay, for you for QA and other people's really not required to upload is for download because you want to see various documents, right? So far we've seen a lot of documents, right? BRD document. STM documents, not test cases, except test cases, test plan, test strategy, all those things, right? So we have seen a lot of things. So all these documents should be there somewhere. Nobody will be sending you email. Nobody will be telling you where it is. It's all there. What you need to figure it out is where it's located. Okay. Here, let's go to here. Here there are two apps here, Jira and Confluence. So this is Jira. We'll just go pretty quick to Confluence and see what we can do. Okay. So here, you have this. Well, a lot of people who created it, so it's supposed to be one of them. Okay. So if you see here, this is actually, this is classified into, two sidebars actually. Okay. So let me show you. So this is, this you see this one gives the information about what you are trying to navigate, and this is actually the what's happening here. Okay, so you want to see here. So this is kind of two things here. Okay, so here you see here these are the lot of options here. So decision log. If there is any decision log, you have to update here. You need to put it here. Not you. I mean, this is. Decision log is normally put by Scrum Master or Project Manager. Okay, they will be doing this. File list. Oh, this should be mine. Okay, so actually this is a little bit convoluted process here. Okay, so this is a file. So you want to, you don't need to create anything here. You want to see, just look into it. What's the documents here? But we go through this. So I see so I'll be giving you homework on this. So I will be giving the right URL. So this is not the right URL. So I'll be giving you the right URL, and you can upload the document. Okay, and so this is what you will be going through this and uploading the document. Okay, so normally who uploads test plan the strategy documents are done by the lead, and they will be doing this, not you, but you want to have some idea how to do this. Okay, so you can use that one. Meeting notes is normally prepared by business analysts. After the meeting is over, they want to put his notes, what they discussed, what they're going to do, and they will update here. Okay, so the responsible person, normally BA, but it depends on the project. Sometimes the other person, architect, or some responsible person does that, but here they have to upload these meeting notes and see what they're going to do. Okay, then you have product requirements. So what's the product requirements? And so here normally you have this requirement documents or FRD documents, or whatever the documents here should be placed here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so all these documents, so you don't have to create as such. You most probably will not have this editing option. Here you do have, because this access is everyone has access, but you don't have access to create any of this. But you only the one access will be the responsible person, not QA. Of course, not QA. Lead will be having limited access to upload the files, and that's it. Not really to create anything. Okay, so next you have the sprint retrospectives, whatever we discussed, right? What the sprint is good, how we are moving. All these notes or meeting notes should be will be uploaded here. Okay, so but I'm not able to find where exactly my. Let's see. Actually, I have this URL. Okay, great. So let's see this one. So this is a little bit. Okay, good. So this is the place you want to upload it. Okay, and you want to see here, a lot of people have uploaded here, so you can do that too. Okay, and actually it should be uploaded here. That's what I mean. So I wanted to upload here, but since I didn't mention in the URL, so that's how it went. Okay, so actually it's supposed to upload here. So if you're uploading here, do it here. Okay, that should be good. And of course, I'll be sending this URL, so you don't have to worry about it. Yes, this is a little bit confusing. Okay, but since even if the client place, whenever you're working on, you can just bookmark it. Okay, just bookmark it and see where you have to navigate, because there's a lot of projects goes on, a lot of things happen. Okay, so if you want to bookmark it and see which location is actually the project is and which location the document is. Okay. Okay, so this is about Confluence. So here you can create actually you can create different versions. If you have any versions, you can do that. This is all the documents we have done, so you can also try it. So any questions so far? So better do it in this folder, okay? And don't do it here in the title, not quite in the title, but see how you can proceed, okay? Because this is a little bit convoluted process, and you go ahead here and click here and upload it here. That should be more um, more sensible. Okay, so but this is also fine. It's up to you. But normally you don't have this editing options, so you really cannot create any titles here. Okay, but since you have it now, you can do it. But the work you cannot do it. Okay. Okay. If no questions, we'll go back to Jira. Jira. Okay, this is one. Okay. So here you can change it. Okay, so this is for Jira option and this is for Confluence. Okay, so if it is one, you can use it one, but sometimes they might use Jira out one, and they might use Confluence for other, or they might be using something else like um, SharePoint or something. In that case, you may not have this option here. So here we have these two things is one, so you can use this one. Okay, so this is the dashboard. Okay, it's been changed. A lot of changes have become. So here, just go to the projects. So here you have these two options. Okay, oh, I'm sure you can turn off. So let's not worry about it. Okay, so this is two options. One is actually the kind of waterfall project, and the other is for it's kind of agile. Um, Okay, so you can use both. See if it's useful and how it's helping you out. You can use it. Let's go to click on what. Let's see here. So once you click on this project, okay. So the only option here remains is see they have changed a lot of things. The only option is to create an issue. Okay, before going to that, let's see here how this thing is. You know, let's see here. So these are divided into sidebars. Let's say this is left sidebar. Okay, this is the left sidebars, and these are all contains information about what is this project and what no, it's not about project, like what are the issues, what is completed, what are not completed, who are resolved, and what are so all this information contains on the left sidebar. And then you have this one more sidebar which contains information about what is this? I mean, is it a task? Is it a bug? Or is it a test case which you are executing? Okay, these are the bugs. So red color, these are all bugs. Okay, test cases is tick mark, with blue color. You see this? So this is the test case, and this is a feature. And this plus icon with the green color is called feature. So what are those features? What are those bug or test cases? All this is uh, in the middle sidebar, kind of middle. Okay, so. And then coming to little right sidebar, you have this options of displaying. So if let's say if you're clicking on something, let's say if you're clicking on this test case, right? It shows the information about what is this, what the feature is all about. Is it in progress? Is it closed? What is the priority? And all those information about that particular feature or that particular task is shown here. And what you're trying to do here is, show have you have the screen. So, okay. And you have this all, complete right sidebar. You have this that contains information about who is assigning, who is supposed to, submit this, who is responsible for this, and all those things, and all this information like who created it, and updated, and all those things. Does it make sense? So this is how this is actually this Jira is done. Okay. Rally was okay. I mean, we had this option, but this is a little bit different than Rally. This is divided into sidebars where we'll be, using this kind of things, more often. Any questions so far? Okay, so let's go back to here. Okay, so we'll go back to here. Okay, good. So yeah. Okay, so somebody asked this question, right? In what do we have this rally news? Okay, so rally. Okay, so nobody knows. So nobody knows actually what tool you'll be using. It's completely different. Sometimes client even doesn't know. They might switch the tools. Okay, they might switch the tools. They might be using some HPLM and then move to a different tool, maybe Rally or something Jira or something Zephyr or IBM ClearQuest. So nobody knows that. Okay, and so it's not like 100% guarantee. Okay, so it's not like nobody gives a guarantee that you'll be using this one and not this one. So it's not like that. It's completely different. Okay, it's the way they use it all depends on the how the management perspective. Okay. That's a very good question. So can you ask in the interview that which tool of course you can ask because here's the thing. Asking question in the interview is important thing because that shows your interest. That shows your interest, right? I mean, you really want to work with them and you want to know the tools. Okay. Okay, so that's good. I mean, it's good to ask questions, at the end of the interview. So it's you only get at the end of the interview, not in between. You cannot. Here's the thing: you cannot talk in between. So only when the interviewer finishes, doesn't say any questions in that, only then you can ask the questions. So that's how it works. Okay, so let's go back here. So you want to create any issues. Okay, let's create one. Let's see, create issue. You have this create. Now you have this option here. Oh, so this is the only thing you can do. Okay. You can change it here. You have options: bug, improvement, task, epic, new feature, epic. So of course, you're not supposed to create new feature. You can only create task. Let's see here. Let's create task. Okay. Okay, great. So I just click on that and let's see what we can do here. Somebody, okay. Okay, here also you can change it. Once you write, once you add this description, you can change it. Which project does it belongs to? Okay, there are two projects. Okay, you can change the project. And what you want to do is a task, a bug, improvement. Okay, here you use task. And can you use this? Okay, good. Let's use this test cases for GMO. And there's a description too. You want to write some description. So here's the thing. Here in this case, we really don't have this option of writing the test cases. You see this? In Rally or HPLM, there is a blocks. There's a steps kind of thing where you can write this test case. But here, you don't have this option of writing this test case. Okay. So what you want to do is there's two options. There are two options. Okay, what you can do is start writing your test cases right here in the box. Okay, and you know what? And we'll try to do this. Let's see here. Okay, so we have created one test case. Okay, this is the thing, but we'll edit it that later. Okay, we'll see here this one and see. Okay, you know what? I'll just copy this. this one. So I want to edit it. So if I click on this, and if you see this option, edit, this is the option. Okay. So once you do that, you can start write your test cases like this. Okay, you can do that. That's an option. Okay, but normally how it works is you supposed to have this third-party, plugin. There's a plugin where you get it. Once you use this plugin, write the test cases in that feature or in that particular project, and this gets updated right here. But as of now, we don't have this plugin, so we have to rely on this. Okay, so this is let's say we have written so many test cases. So let's write for regression test cases. Okay. So here, we just put this, what is the description and expected, okay? We want to write it here. So you can do this, okay? This is one of the options. And then another option we can do is write your test cases in Excel, okay? So, let's say here, okay, so this is an option, so question is a little bit. Okay, so somebody asked a question, right? When you write a case notes or case story, I'm not going to do that case story, but if you are going to write it, then it is more of a BA perspective. Okay, so in that case, okay, you can write it in the different formats. So that would be different. So here we are using, let's say we are using what here we are using task, but then you have to use an epic or feature request. In that case, you can do that. But okay, so you can do in a different. That's a different option there. But as a tester, as a QA, and as a matter of fact, even a lead, you're not going to write any use cases or user stories or requirement. No, not your job. Even if they tell you, you have to make sure with your lead saying that this is what I'm supposed to do, and can we do this? Like, you have to make sure with the lead and check with them, and you have to move forward. But other than that, you're not supposed to write use cases or user stories. Okay. Okay. So this is the test case. This is already there in Excel. Okay. So everything is there in Excel. And test data tool is good. Test data. And okay. So let's say I have this test case. Okay. And what I can do is upload this test case here. See this option, attachment. Go ahead and click on browse. So on new features. Okay. So here to do is this case. And once you do that, click on insert modified. Oh. It's got some changes here. Okay. So let's try to do this. Let's see what happens. Okay. So you can do this too. So you want Excel file to send to you? Okay. You can send it. So guess what? Is the option to send files from here? All right. So actually TeamViewer has this, you can send this over right here so you can download it. So okay, so this is how you can do it. But this got something, you know, just has this option attached to it. So, you know what? Well, let's do this. Let's edit it. We'll move this to here to this is. And let's see if this works here. Okay, great. Something happened actually here. Let's see. Let's go back. This got moved out. You know what? I'll just use this one. Except this, we'll just use everything here. Okay, great. Now it's good. Something happened there, so it got screwed up. Okay, so you know you can do either ways, not both. You don't have to do both. Okay, um, you can do it. You know, either way. Just either upload it right in the test case in the Excel. Okay, just like this, and you can upload it here, and you can either or you can write right from here. Okay, you can use this option. Any questions? Okay, now after doing that, you know, you can also, okay, this is the task, you know, you can change the task, okay, you can use this. Okay, so assign, so the person who is, so reporter is actually the tester, and assign is supposed to be a developer. Oh, I'm sorry, this is test case. So assigning will be yourself, or if it's large project, then someone else. Okay, so you can assign it to yourself. So you are the one responsible for testing these test cases. Test cases, you know, owner of the test case is always a tester, but owner of the developer, owner of the defect is the developer. Okay. So sometimes if you have this option, you sign it here, and you know, and this is a like third-party plugin. Okay, and continue here, and you know, this option to write test cases here. If there is a third-party plugin, okay, here you can write your test cases and all things, and this gets updated right here. Okay, here it shows, you know, so that can be an option here, but here we don't have this proper tool, so you know we cannot use this third-party plugin, or else this also can be an option. Okay. Okay. Now once you finish this, you want to see here what you want to do is priority. What is the priority? So we already talked about this priority and severity. Okay. Now this is the test case. There's no severity for this, but still might still have it. Okay. So here it's medium. That's good. We will put it medium. And labels. If you have any labels, you can use this label. So labels are really not required, but you can use it. And so sometimes, you know, you want to, if your lead is reviewing your work, let's say your lead is seeing what test cases you have written, so you want to change it to in review and assign it to, you know, your lead. Okay. Once, you know, if there's any issues, lead will point it out and send it to you back. If not, no, you can be changed into in progress. Okay, and so this option to comment here. So if your lead thinks something should be changed, so your lead will be, you know, writing here some information. Okay, and we'll put this here. So your lead will be commenting. So you want to see here what what's the comments and what you need to update. It's they're doing it. That's good. Sometimes they don't do. Doesn't matter. You have to check with them. Check with the email. Okay, that's also an option. Okay, so that's how you can use this. Any questions so far? So this is good for small teams. Okay. If you are having large teams, then you see this is the problem. These are the this gets too many issues here, too many features, too many test cases, too many bugs. You don't know which is done by you, which is supposed to be done. What's going on with this? A lot of people are writing here itself. Too many people, too much work. I mean, it's not like you can't do it. It's like it becomes tiresome. So it's good only for a small project, but Rally is really good for even large projects because whatever they are using, it will be right in front of your name. You can use the filter there. Okay, just like you have this filter, maybe you have this option filter, and you can use that, and everything shows up in your name. What you have created, what test cases, what defects, and so on. So that is more user friendly. Okay, so it's kind of user friendly. Okay, but but doesn't matter. I mean, this if you can use it, this one is also good. Okay, you can use it for this too. And there's an option to word clock, see who is doing what, how many. Okay, so this is about creating your test cases. Any questions? Okay, so once let's say if you have if you have finished this, okay, let's say you've completed your task, you want to move this to close, right? I'm sorry, done. Okay, done. Let's see what happens here. So just click on done. This is my task, right? IATT FF25. This is 25. Okay, let's refresh it. If you notice that's gone from here, okay, there's no more. This is the task which we created. Remember, we created 25. There's no more here. Can you see here? I don't see here. Okay, this is gone, right? This moved out from this project. So that's actually a feature which is in Jira, which doesn't have in other tools. So if this is done, you want to see which one is this, and you want to go to done issues. Okay, go to done issues. This guy made it clear. It's good. So here, if you see here, it's all in your name, which is done and which is not, and you can sort of see right here, 25, and you can move it in progress. Once if you move it in progress, that moves out from here. Click on refresh. Okay, that's how you want to see if you are done with this, and it shows right here again back here. So you have this filter options to see here. Okay, so these are options. You see this. So if you're done, it moves on to this tab. You want to go see there and see which is done, which is not. And you can have this option ways to which one viewed, which one you created, and which one is already set. Okay, all these options, you have a lot of options in the left sidebar. So this is how you can navigate your issues and see. So here issue means it's common. Like it can be feature, it can be task, it can be bug, it can be epic, so many things. So that's why they named it as issues. So anything can be an issue, right? So generate them. Okay, so now let's open a bug. Okay, let's try to open a bug. And the same option here, if you see here, you want to open it right from here. Okay, people who are missing here, let's. Oops. Okay, so here, if you want to open anything, you have to click on this. And if you close something and something is missing or something is supposed to show up here, you want to refresh it. So this is a refresh option, not this one. Don't use this one. This is, you can use it, but better option is here. This Rally, no, I'm sorry, Jira provides for you, to refresh here. Okay, so just make sure you use this refresh if you're missing something, or something is, you want required. Okay, so let's create here, create issue, and this time you will just use this bug. You see this red color with white. This is a bug, and let's see here the shipping and handling fee. We're just going to that. And before editing, I want to click on this open create dialog. Okay, so we'll be using that same. Okay, good. Use this, and we'll use this name. So I don't use much of this. The star mark is really personal. I mean, I'm using this, but you don't have to use it, because you have only one user ID and password. So that's the reason I maintain this, so that if anyone is using, everyone wants to write a homework, so they can use this option. Or if you're using the real time, you want to get it. Sometimes the bug is very severe, high priority bug or high severe bug, right? In that case, you want to write it here as a critical issue. Okay, production issue. If you have opened something bug which is in production, then you want to use this production issue, and so that you get the attention of the developer, so that, oh, this is production, you have to work on this, right? I mean, it's up to the project and how it is using, but we can use it up to. Okay, so this is like it's kind of personal thing. I mean, you can use it if you want. So it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, but this is important. This naming convention, one line statement, what the issue is all about, and you want to see which project is. So this kind of statement should be there. This is mandatory. Okay, this is mandatory to make sure you know which one you're working on. Okay, description. Again, you want to use the screenshot. Let's use that screenshot again. So you want to use the same thing. So it's better always to use screenshot. And highlight this, what exactly the issue is all about. Want to highlight it. And I use information which is already required, so we'll just use this. So now remember, this is also a bug, right? Or not. So if you see this, this is also a bug. Here we are, but it really depends how you want to talk with this to your lead and say, hey, you know what, this is showing as 1997. This is like 2018. This certificate is not valid. And if you want to open it, maybe you have to open it in a different bug, or see if you can check with the developer, just talk to them, you know what, this is a bug, and this is, if they give some information, who is the responsible guy, or how it's supposed to be resolved, or it's not really mandatory at this point of time. So in that case, you want to see what you want to do. So first thing is to talk to developer, to talk to lead, to talk to developer, and see if you can resolve it. If not, then you have to, um, then you have to wait for another defect to open. But that's up to you how you want to do it. Okay, and let's save this. again, you want to write this description here. So here what you want to write is we're not doing, so if you write some this kind of information and send it to the developer, nothing is going to happen because you're not even specifying what it is. Screenshot is very mandatory in this, at least in this particular scenario. Okay, this is important. So okay, and want to upload this. So I don't think you can upload here, but let's see here. So here it's not working. Oh, that's a good question. Let's try this. Yeah, that's good. We'll try to drag it and drop it. We'll see here. Okay, that's good. Did it work? Okay, let's see here. This work. Showing up here. Okay, great. Great, that's work. Okay. So here's the defect, and that's good. The drag and drop worked. Okay, that's thanks. That's fine. So you can do that. See that there's the option here. Okay, so you want to use drag and drop and use that. Okay, that's good. So you want to edit it and see here. Okay, once you come to edit option, okay, here again you want to put this priority. What kind of priority you want to do? Medium, high, low, lowest. You also have this lowest. You see this? So lowest are all like cosmetic issues. Okay, there's no space in the character. The character is lowercase. The color of the character is blue. So all these things goes on the lowest priority. That means it's still not stopping your work to do, but you still find it as a defect. In that case, it will be lowest. Okay. So, but not all tools have this lowest. Only they have up to low. So, should be good. So this medium. So we'll go to the medium. Okay. And label, if you have any label, you can just put Gmail online. This one, just use this. Okay. And original estimate, that means how much time does it takes to work on this. So this is, again, this is a defect, right? So when it's a defect, again, the owner of this defect is responsible for putting this, okay? How much time it take, how much remaining they will be working on this. Okay, and this environment. So what kind of environment does it belongs to? Is it just dev environment? Is it a staging environment or QA environment or production environment? What kind of environment are you working on? So here we'll just put in test environment. Okay. You can attach your file or option. Due date, we know this due date. Due date is 25th. Register to fix all these things should be done by 25th. And is there any link to that? That means if you're creating multiple defects, okay, or no. I mean, let's say somebody else created some defect, okay. So this thing is, let's say somebody else created some defect, and because of that defect, the developer rejected this defect. They say, right, this is a duplicate issue. Okay, this is duplicate, and they reject it. But although it is rejected, you want to see that because fixing of that defect doesn't, no other issues arises. Okay, you want to see that. So what you want to do is you want to link this, right? You want to link it with that defect, and want to make sure that once that defect is fixed, your defect is also fixed. So that can be a dependent issue. Okay. Okay, that can be a dependent, and because of that issue, maybe a different issue is coming up, or this issue is not fixed or something like that. You want to use this. So you want to put it in the option here, whatever the option is. I would go to relates to. That means it's related with that defect. That means if that defect is fixed, my defect is also fixed. Okay, so that can be an option here. So what's the issue? If you know the issue number, you can use this issue number. If you have this, let's go to some issue number. Okay, here 26 or 23. Okay, that means because of that issue, developer rejected it, but we are not closing it, right? We are not closing it, and we check with the lead, say that no, there is no reason to close this. This is the issue, and we need to, but they rejected it because, and they give some notes saying that this is a duplicate issue, or this is a dependent issue. Because of that defect, this defect gets fixed, so you need not worry on this. So they give some notes. Developer gives some notes. So in that case, you want to link it. Okay, there's an option here. And your lead told you to link it with that defect which is actually affecting it, so you want to use this. Okay, it's an option. Assignee, yes, the assignee for this defect is developer. Okay, the responsible guy for this is developer. So let's put it automatic. And the epic, if you have any epic, epic is kind of it's kind of feature too, but little different than feature. And not QA guys are not responsible for it. Most probably the architect or mostly business analysts too will be creating this epic link. Mostly architects or business analysts. Okay, so and if you have any comments, then write it here and take an update. Okay, and if you see here, now this is to do. You want to change it to in progress. Okay, to do doesn't help. You want to make sure it's in progress. Once it progress, an email goes to the particular developer, and if the email, even if the email doesn't go, you want to open, want to write an email saying that, hey, you know what, I created this issue that is. If you can give the URL, that would be great. You just give them URL and show the issue, what exactly the issue is, and send an email. And CC your lead when you're working with the developer. You want to make sure your lead moving forward. You might also want to CC your boss. So you want to see what's happening to the issues. What's the communication you're performing to resolve this issue. So they want to see it. Okay, so we want to make sure. But to start with, you want to use from the lead. And moving forward, let's say you're working for 6 months, 6 months, 7 months, you also want to include your boss, so your boss knows what you're trying to do. Okay, so make sure all the communications to the developer should be CC'd with the lead and your boss. Okay. So in some cases, okay, there are some cases you cannot directly communicate. So for example, Wells Fargo. Okay, Wells Fargo doesn't, you cannot communicate directly to the developer. Okay, the problem is, you have to go through this lead, tell them the issue, what exactly the problem is, and your lead will communicate with the developers. Okay, so this not always this kind of flexible environment, but of course you have this option to talk to the lead, and you can use that option too. Okay, so it's not really necessary, but you can directly communicate to the uh, developer. So you want to check with the lead before sending any emails to developer. Okay, but the lead, it's okay, you can send it. So there's no problem. Because the first point of contact will be your lead. Okay, first point of contact is lead. Um, if your lead, you know what to do. Okay, you want to coordinate with a lot of people, coordinate with your, developers, coordinate with, your boss, a lot of things. Okay, but if you're a QA, you want to make sure you're working with the lead. Okay, and once you do this in progress, okay, and yeah, once you have done this, you can send an email, okay, saying that this is an issue and work on this issue. So this is, pretty much about just defects. Any questions so far? Oh, you know what? You can do this too. You can add your developer here, right here, and share. You want to share with the developer? That's good. You can share with developer and and your lead, saying that what's the issue is about. That's an option. There's pretty much long list of options you can perform with this options too. Okay, so once you are done with this, let's say now you're not okay, so you're not responsible to put it fixed. If there's an option, the developer will be fixing this. Once they fix it, you want to change it to done. Okay, so once it's done, and you want to refresh it, this is an option. Okay, once you refresh it, let's refresh it. Okay, so that defect is gone, right? It's because it moves to done issues. You want to check it out in done and see what the issue is. Okay, so here's the issue. Okay, so this is how you can move your. This is automatically moved. And, this is that's good because too much of if everything is here, too much of clutter, a lot of things will be blocked here. So it's good that if we, bugs are moved away, test cases are moved away. This all those is good because if there's a lot of information, a lot of people are working here, it gets a lot of confusion. So that's good option so that you can be moved here. Okay. So that's about this. Let's see here if you have this option. Oh, okay. So this had these options. Okay. Now let's go to the reports. Any questions so far? Let's see here if we have any reports here. So you can practice it. Okay, you can practice it. I'll be giving you access for this. So somebody requested some test cases for this to write Excel, so I'll be giving you that too. Okay. So you can work on that. Okay. So here, let's go back here. So this is various reports. So this options here is the limited. Okay. You don't have many reports like you have in Rally, okay, but still you can get some reports, and you don't have much of customized option here. You do have this customization, but it's limited. Okay, you can use limited data and limited information to pull up these reports. Let's see here. If you want to use that one, let's go with yeah, with effects. Okay, so this is how you can generate reports. So somebody asked this question, right? Is a particular software test you have to take for certification? No, you don't have any particular software. So now, okay, maybe you're talking about this email which I send you for certification. You have to go to this website. You really don't have to use any software. This online web, certification. Okay. Yes, there are many options. You can choose whatever you like. Okay, but I recommend MBA. MBA, this MBA dot Microsoft.com, and this Microsoft Virtual Academy, where you can use that. So that is more better if you want to start with. Okay, that would be a good option. But it's up to you. You know, if you're a pro and you know what you're doing, you can use any of those. Okay, so you don't need any software as such. Just it's free and it's free. You have it's online and you don't. The only thing you need is internet connection, and of course you need to pay your internet bill. Other than that, it's free. Okay, don't have to pay anything. Okay, so this is an pie chart which shows up. So we'll go back here. Okay, so let's go here pretty quick here to releases. I know it's like too much of information, but you have to get used to it. Okay, you have to get used to it because you don't know what you're trying to, what you'll be working on it and which one you'll be working on it. Okay. So, we don't have this. Let's see. Let's change the project. So this is more of a waterfall. Now we are. Let's quickly check an agile. Let's see if we have this backlog system still available or not. Let's see here. We can go to this pretty quick here. For some reason, this is pretty slow. Maybe internet. No, yeah, internet might be slow. Okay. So far, any questions? Any questions about so far we have gone through? It's just taking forever. Or maybe this. So here, we'll be having like backlogs. So it's not opening anything. So it's not good. Okay. So okay. Otherwise, you can access it. So I'll be giving you homework. Okay. So you can use it and see. I'll be giving you the password and username. You can use it. You can navigate it and you see. So you have access to those two projects. You can go through this project and see if if it makes sense for you. Okay, great. Okay. So if you see here, this is kind of made of agile. Okay, this is kind of agile here. So let's say you have this backlogs and a lot of backlogs item, and each has to go in one sprint. Okay, sprint one, sprint two, sprint three, sprint four, and so on. So this is a backlog, and so this is normally done by the Scrum Master. Let's say if you have something, now this is let's say you want to move it to sprint three. Okay, great. So we just put it here, this drag and drop. Okay, so you want to use this, or you can create yourself. But creating, when you have a lot of backlogs, you want to move it from one place to another. Okay, that would be a much more better option. Okay, so this is how agile board works. You should remember this agile board, the traditional way of doing it. So let me go back to people who missed it. So the traditional way of doing it, right? You can use this online. So this option is available for Jira. It's also available for Rally. Okay, it's not available for HPLM because HPLM is more designed for waterfall methodology. But these are new tools, so okay, here you go. You see this traditional way of board, the same thing. I mean, what you are using here, you will be using the same similar thing. Okay, just moving your case task or bug or issues. You are moving from one screen to here. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much. Any questions so far? Okay, if no questions, can we close this class for today? Okay, thank you guys.